commercial menstrual products, how it benefited me, and what happened afterward. Today, we are talking about the pill, i.e., birth control, and how it basically ruined my life. Just now, when I said birth control, I was referring to hormonal birth control. There are many other methods of birth control out there, and we will get into that a little bit later. But I just want to start off with talking about hormonal birth control, mainly the pill and various similar versions of hormonal birth control. But yeah, the pill high key ruined my life. I'll walk you guys through a little bit of my history with the pill to explain what I mean by that. But there's going to be some personal details shared here, so it's going to be a little uncomfortable for me. So I appreciate you guys just being a little bit considerate of that in the comment section. Please, thank you so much. The pill. All right, let's see. The first time I ever started trying to take any version of the birth control pill would have been in college. Here's where it's going to get a little personal slash humiliating for me, but I was not sexually active. The girl was a late bloomer, don't judge me. Nonetheless, I started taking a version of the pill. I don't know which one, and ultimately it won't matter because you'll see where I'm going as we go along here. But I started taking a version of the pill probably freshman or sophomore year of college, mainly because I thought I may become sexually active and I wanted to be prepared. 2, I thought it might help clear up my skin. 3, I thought it might help with period cramps. And 4, I just thought that's what you do. You know, you become a young woman and you get on birth control. That's what.
That's a fucking lie, bitch. That's a fucking lie. Fuck you gonna say some dumb. So I'm supposed to think you a smart woman when you can say something like this out of your mouth?
Become sexually active and I wanted to be prepared. 2, I thought it might help clear up my skin. 3, I thought it might help with period cramps. And 4, I just thought that's what you do, you know.
Ma'am. 4, I thought that's just what you do. Put unknown substances in your body for the sake of sex. Ma'am.
It helped clear up my skin. 3, I thought it might help with period cramps. And 4, I just thought that's what you do. You know, you become a young woman and you get on birth control. That's what everybody does, isn't it? At least that's the way it was presented to me by my doctor, and it just kind of went from there. There was no real discussion of other options or non-hormonal birth control other than condoms, of course, for the prevention of sexually transmitted diseases. The idea was to use condoms in tandem with birth control, you know, basically to have a backup. With the first version of the pill I took, I experienced significant weight gain. This was after I'd already lost a considerable amount of weight, so I was displeased. I don't know exactly why the weight gain occurred. I don't know if it was the hormones themselves or simply the fact that the hormones seemed to stimulate my appetite, but I do know that I felt like I was uncontrollable with my eating whenever I was on the pill. I also struggled with remembering to take it because a big thing with the pill is that you have to take it every single day, ideally at the same time of day. And because it was a new thing, I hadn't formed a habit and I just really struggled with remembering to take it. So even though the weight gain sucked and all that, I think I managed to mitigate it just by bumping up my exercise routine, which is to say start exercising really at all because I was at college and I didn't really have a proper workout routine. And I think I probably also cut back on how much I was eating once I recognized that I was eating more than I needed to, and I just had to basically ignore the seemingly relentless hunger cues that I had developed from being on the pill. After I realized I was having issues remembering to take the pill, I think my doctor tried putting me on the patch, you know, the birth control patch, which I never liked because one, who wants to have that thing on your body? Not to mention the adhesive sort of surrounding it, you know, as your skin and oils mingle together with that adhesive, it would sort of move the patch around slightly and you'd have this sort of ring of dirt surrounding it. It was just gross in every possible way. Not to mention, because it's still hormonal based birth control, I had the same issues I had with the pill. Crazy appetite, difficulty maintaining my weight, yada, yada, yada. I think I also might have tried the ring, you know, the Nuva ring, if that's even what it's called. I can't remember at some point. Ultimately, I tried those kind of 3.
Ma'am, you said you think you might have tried the Nuva ring. How the fuck do you think you might have tried the Nuva ring? They got to put that in your pussy. How the fuck do you mean you think you might have? Ma'am, that birth control done fucked you up.
Pill. Crazy appetite, difficulty maintaining my weight, yada, yada, yada. I think I also might have tried the ring, you know, the Nuva ring, if that's even what it's called. I can't remember at some point. Ultimately, I tried those kind of 3 versions of things and then just said to hell with it. And I stopped taking hormonal birth control for a couple of years. I know by the time that I graduated, it'd probably been maybe 2 years of experimenting, 2 to 3 years, maybe from sophomore to senior or junior to senior year of experimenting with these different types of hormonal birth controls. None of them seemed to work for me. And I think I just kind of threw in the towel and was just like, whatever, I'm single anyway. I don't need to worry about this. Following college, I did end up getting into a committed monogamous relationship for a time and decided that it would be prudent to get back on birth control.
They get with a man and start fucking their pussy up. This is crazy.
my doctor at that time know my concerns and the negative experiences I'd had in the past, and she suggested a sort of different hormone profile for the type of birth control pill that she was going to prescribe to me. I said, different pill? Who knew? Who knew there were different pills? I thought it was just one pill to rule them all. So great, let's go. Let's try this different pill. Tried it, got fat again, and fast. I packed on a good 30 pounds in, I would say, 3 months, if I remember correctly. Nightmare.
What? Whoa! God damn! I don't know what to tell y'all niggas no more, man. I don't know what to tell them.
And fast. I packed on a good 30 pounds in, I would say, 3 months, if I remember correctly. Nightmare. So, yeah, once again, same issues I was having as before. And then this time it escalated even more. After I'd been back on the pill for maybe 2 to 4 months, it's hard to remember. I was out one night with friends and I wasn't feeling super great. About an hour and a half into the night, I almost fainted. I remember my vision was very in and out. I nearly fell over, but the friends I was with caught me. And my friend Vera, I'll never forget it. She was the one who, through just questioning me and trying to understand what had just happened, and maybe it was something I ate, that sort of thing, she was the one who supposed that it might be birth control. She was the first person I knew who was my age, who was also very vocal about women's reproductive rights or the lack thereof, as well as the lack of education in terms of the dangers of things like birth control.
Ma'am, you took birth control because it was the thing to do, like any junkie does drugs. Fuck do you mean, what's the ramifications? So I'm supposed to think that you're smart because you got an education. No, you about stupid.
Rights or the lack thereof, as well as the lack of education in terms of the dangers of things like birth control to most women. But I will forever be grateful to her for just educating me on the idea that you don't have to be on the pill, basically. Based on her advice, I figured it would be best for me to just go ahead and stop taking the pill cold turkey because I was pretty frightened by the fact that I had almost fainted. I'd never experienced anything like that before, and I certainly didn't want it to happen again. So I got off the pill, and that was that. Until one more time, decided to get back on the pill. Committed, monogamous relationship, yada, 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 just seemed like it would make life easier. Maybe it was that other pill.
ChatGPT can now create website wireframes. With our new custom GPT,
Black man,
the first
black man. Where's that at? How do we have that before? Black man, you don't want to send me any super chats. You don't want to send me any cash apps. Can you at least go get your Pussycat Facts report? Can you at least go do that? Can you try to help these black sisters out? Is she breaking your heart enough?
First pill was bad. The other pill was bad. Maybe there's some other pill I can take. Back to the doctor again. We're gonna try again. This is a different pill. This one's gonna work for you. When I tell you that I started taking the pill this time around, and within 2 weeks, probably less, of being on this pill, I remember waking up one morning crying. Like I woke up sobbing, and I was convinced that I had no future. I don't know where that.
What did I tell y'all? What did I tell y'all? Actions and certain actions regarding the pussy make these women want to take themselves out. But y'all don't. They believe that you. Anytime I said you like, yo, they pussy make them want to take themselves out. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you something, man. But guess when this happens? Every time she got a boyfriend, the black man got to go through this traumatic junkie.
And I was convinced that I had no future. I don't know where that sequence of thinking came from, where that thought, that idea originated. I have no idea. It's not a thought that I had ever had before, but it was crystal clear to me when I woke up that day. I had no future. My life was not going to go anywhere of value. Long story short, waking up that day kickstarted a bout of depression that lasted approximately a year and a half. When I woke up that day feeling that way, as the day went on, I realized that it had to be the hormones of the pill fucking with me. But I wanted to give it the old college try, no pun intended, and see if maybe I would adjust. I did not. I stayed on that pill for probably 3 to 5 months maximum. The depression did not improve, it only got worse. However, even after getting off of the pill, it took at least a year of being off that pill for my hormones to get back to the correct level and for me to feel balanced again and to feel happy again, because I am a happy person by nature. I know I come off as sort of like sarcastic and dry on here.
Ma'am, you on drug. Your body has been compromised, honey. Plus systemically programmed. You are cuckoo, to say the least.
Because I am a happy person by nature. I know I come off as sort of like sarcastic and dry on here, but ultimately I am a happy person. That's just my delivery. And I don't think I've ever felt unlike myself for such a duration of time at any other point in my life. And it's actually reflected on my YouTube channel, because right around when this was happening, that was also when I had sort of decided, oh, I'm going to make a go of it. I'm really actually going to try to do something with my YouTube channel, because prior to that, I would do like 1 or 2 videos a year. It wasn't really anything I was trying to do. And just before I started taking that birth control pill, I'd gotten my first proper DSLR, and I was so excited to start making proper content. And I was really going to like try to grow my channel. And my depression hit me so hard that I didn't make a YouTube video for an entire year plus. I just couldn't do it. I'm not the kind of person who can come on camera and fake being happy, especially with the amount and level of depression that I was grappling with. As I was recovering and trying to restore my hormone levels to normal and climb out of that dark place, I did start looking into other options to replace hormonal birth control, because I just knew I couldn't do that again. I couldn't be on any version of hormonal birth control ever again after that experience. It just fucked with me far too much. And in so many different ways, from the weight gain to the skin problems to the fainting to the depression. I said enough is enough. Compound that with the fact that there is a lot of evidence indicating that there are direct links between hormonal birth control and women's cancers: cervical, ovarian, breast. This is not news. I'm not really going to get too deep into it, because people have their own beliefs and opinions. And I know some people, even before I even set out to do this video, were saying, please don't do a video on birth control. I need to take mine. Look, if you want to stay on hormonal birth control, I'm not going to tell you what to do. That's not what I'm here to do. That's not what this video is about. I'm telling you about my experience. I hope.
And I tell you why. Because you don't give a fuck. Because you don't give a fuck about your black sister. That's why we got the Pussycat Facts report. Somebody got to give a fuck. I mean, this is crazy, son. Come on, man. Come on, man. They said, I don't care, black woman. You take it for your pussy.
Purist to just start a conversation so that if someone else has had a similar experience, you don't feel